It finally happened. There I was, unsuspecting, naive maybe, even. My youngest 9-year-old came down with the COVID. He got the COVID. The COVID is in the house. And we put him in his room. We said, you're now Rapunzel Bumpercar up here in the room. Here's a bell. Ring it if you need to. Go ding, 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 ding. If you need food, whatever, ring twice. And it's very hard because this child, he likes to hug. He's a hugger. Every day, I love you, and he gives you hugs. And we couldn't hug him. He was just over there. It was just like, just put those in like into a hug bank, and then when you're done, you can just deposit. Well, you're going to deposit, withdraw all the hugs, and then and give us all the hugs, please, sad child. He was fine though, honestly. He was living his best life. He was in his up in his parapet, I think is maybe where he was. We live in a castle, and he had food delivered. He had all of his beverages, and we would take them up, and then we would take them away. He had multiple screens where he could watch things, he could play things. Like, he was doing great. His brother couldn't get to him to attack him. So it was really, I said, how are you feeling? Are you okay? And he's like, Dad, this is the best vacation I've ever had. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really, okay. Oh, we've been to the beach. No, we've been to some mountains. No, been to a lake. But we've been to the big city, museums. But this is it. This is the pinnacle. All right, good to know. He's easy to accommodate. Now, everyone was in their rooms. So he was in his room. My wife was in our room. I took the couch with the other child who has a hard time sleeping by himself, and the dogs. So we were the core of the house. There were a lot of us down there. And on Wednesday night, what I've discovered is the dogs wake up several times a night. And they... I was exhausted. This was Wednesday night, and I was just like, I don't feel good. I am exhausted. Because they got up at like 11:30, 1:33, like every 2 hours or so. Banjo gets up, and he was like, I gotta go outside. And I'm like, okay. Sometimes I'm like, no, but sometimes I do say okay. Because if you don't, he's licking your face. He's putting his paw on you. Like, hey. And everything. And so he got him outside. And he runs around in circles, giant, say, yip, hop, yip, hop, yip, whoop. And he's just like, would you stop with the yipping and the yapping?
Hey, Natty, I hate to burst into your story here, but you're 3 minutes in. Hey, I want to welcome everybody. Hello, Radio Free Montclair. We're actually recording this for them, so perhaps you should I know normally on the show you just kind of jump into a story and everyone's supposed to catch up.
Oh, yeah.
Catch
up.
Bro,
Fries?
Catch up.
Come on, right?
But right now, we want to welcome, hello, Radio Free Montclair.
You're right, and I apologize. Hi, Radio Free Montclair. This is me, Natty Bumpercar, at the Bumperpodcast here at headquarters, and we're recording this episode. I've had 3 weeks of COVID related shenanigans, and my brain it don't work like it used to. And I wanted to relay my story.
Okay, perfect. You're relaying a story in the podcast for the Radio Free Montclair, and it's wonderful, and it's good that you're doing it. But maybe to just don't have to tell us every single little thing. Just kind of move the story forward, go quickly and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry. So kid got it, and then Wednesday night up. Thursday, I tested positive. Didn't feel great. Called the doctor. She sent me to the urgent care. They did another test. Well, actually, first the doctor said, "Why are you here?" And I was like, "Because my doctor told me to come here. I didn't know what to do." And that's always weird to me when you go to a doctor's office and like, "Well, why are you here?" And it's not like, "Hi, how can I help you? Why are you here?" It's, "Why are you here?" And you're like, "I don't know." And so they put me on this medicine, did all this stuff. Had crazy dreams, dreams.
Yeah, Natty, sorry, this is me, Rufus, and I
was brought over here by Aloysius to let you know we cannot discuss the dreams. The dreams were dreams, and they're crazy, but they could still implicate some things, if you understand what I'm saying, if you get my point. All right?
Yeah,
so,
fine.
Let's just move along with your story, if you could, please.
Fine. So the story is I stayed downstairs sleeping with... No, I was upstairs for a while, for a few days. And then, because they put me in a door, and they put tape on it to keep the sickness in or something. And after 4 days or so, I ended up on the couch again with the kid and the dog. Why? Well, because the kid tested positive as well. And so now the wife has sequestered herself up in her tiny little room. And the other child was fine at that point, could go back to school, which is great. But the other child who had tested positive was now home, going crazy because the children, when they got it, they seemed fine. It was... you hear stories of people who are like, COVID, it's nothing, it's just a cold. And you're like, no, it hits people in different ways. Different. There's so many variables. If you're a kid, if you have red hair, if you get it on a Tuesday, I've heard it's especially rough. If you eat Lingenberger cheese, and just Lingenberger, all the other kinds of cheeses are fine, but if you eat that while you have it, you're in big trouble. So, sorry, shout out to the Lingenberger Cheese Company. Didn't mean to call you out. Is that really Lingenberger?
No,
it doesn't feel like the kind of cheese. It feels like a made-up cheese. Lingenberger.
No, it's not right. It's Limburger. Limburger is a smelly cheese that a lot of times they use in jokes, like in old cartoons and stuff. Limburger cheese, not Lingenberger. You're thinking of lingonberries, and then you're putting that into cheese, which I mean, it could be possibly exist, but I don't know. Also... not particularly germane to the story, right?
Who's germane? I'm kidding. Who's germane? That's a joke. So while I was in bed, just crazy fevers, crazy fever dreams, aches, I developed vertigo, which is where the world feels like it's spinning around. But for me, they were like, there was very specific language. They were like, they have to unlock. Like, it's like in a video game, if you go up to the guy and you say, I'd like the scroll, please. And he's like, there is no scroll. And you're like, I'd like the scroll of Lingenberger. And he's like, well, of course, here's the scroll of Lingenberger. That's how it is with doctors, where if you don't say the exact words, then they're like, well, this doesn't sound like it checks the boxes. Sorry, champ. And so I was trying to describe it. I was like, all I could come up with was my brain feels like wow, 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 where it's going in all different directions, and my body feels like it's going in different directions. They were like, so the room is spinning? And I was like, no, it's more than that. So much more. My body has taken dizziness to the 2022s and really has made it so much more than just the room is spinning. Like, the room is spinning, that sounds like fun.
Now,
what I was going through was wow, 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 wow. And
is this something that we should be copywriting? Wow, 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 because it feels like it has legs, like something that we could definitely market and brand and get out there. This isn't your grandpapa's dizziness. This is now wow.
Yeah, no,
like that. You understand?
I understand. It's certainly an idea. I love ideas. I love imagination. I love people coming up with things. But I think probably branding a new version of dizziness isn't really what we're going to be doing. We're not going to focus on that right now, if that's okay. Ooh, speaking of focusing on things, while I was sick, I wrote a short story. A friend of mine edited it. It's just under 1,000 words, and I submitted it, and it got rejected. And that's great. That's fine. It's very exciting to me. I've had all these words in my brain, and sometimes I just have a really hard time getting them onto a document. And then actually having a friend to edit stuff I don't know what you do with people who edit your things. I guess I'm going to lock her in some sort of the barn here, and I'll bring her beignets. Because everyone knows, people who edit, they love beignets. Anyway, and so I submitted that. And then I made an online store for the CGAA thing that I do, Cedar Grove Artists Alliance. And so I made all these shirts. I think I made like 6 different shirt variations, designs, and
And so that exists. And I had to go through all the whole process. When I first was doing web stuff a million years ago, setting up a store was like, hey, I'm at a store. Now it's like, really, like there's a lot. It's like, do you have your this thing? Do you have that thing? We can connect to this. Would you like for us to do this? And it's all just like, I don't know. Everything is like a huge learning process, but it exists. And I actually forgot. I have to launch it today. I was supposed to do it Monday, but then guess what? This week, COVID came back.
I'm just so glad you didn't. I thought you were gonna do like a song, like the COVID came back and you really don't feel good, or something like that.
Hey, the COVID is back. Hey, the COVID is coming. Something like that. Oh, the COVID is here.
I love that.
COVID is here.
Okay, there. I love that producer was so excited to jump in with the hey is that his microphone wasn't even on, and then he kind of clicked in the middle of it. That was very exciting. Good job. So yeah, it was a couple days ago. And listen, I've been talking to virtual doctors, and I made a virtual doctor wince at one point. She was like, when I told her what had been going on, and I said, did you just wince? Because you don't want to see people you don't want to see wince. You don't want to see pilots wince. You don't want to see doctors wince. And you don't want to see Carson wince. Hey-oh, it's a football joke. I don't know who he is, but I know that name, and it just popped into my head. Anyway, so basically, I ended up in the emergency room. I had stuff. They gave me fluids. They gave me medicine. They gave me something called an vertigo. And everything checks out. I had an EKG, and they said that I sound great, which makes me happy. And when they tried to give me the anti-vert, I said, ooh, wouldn't it be funny if it was an anti-Bert? And then they were like, what? And I was like, hey, Bert. And they were like, no.
Yeah, doctors aren't typically known for their senses of humor.
Did they find your funny bone?
Hey-oh, let's wrap it up with a funny bone joke.
The Bumper Podcast is an oftentimes hilarious weekly romp with Natty Bumpercar and some of his pals. It is family-friendly, clean, and ridiculous. Thanks a bundle for listening. If you love our show and you'd like to help support the podcast, check out our Patreon page at https://www.patreon.com/Natty Bumpercar. Also, pretty please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Share it with everyone everywhere, post about it on all of the social medias, or leave a rating and review. The Bumper Podcast is produced at headquarters in Coffee Can Alley. It's recorded, mixed, and produced by producer. The Bumper Podcast features contributions from Aloysius J. Pig, Rufus T. Rufus, Doodle Poodle, Robot, Trunks, and a gaggle of other silly rascals. Our head talker is probably Natty Bumpercar. We also have an absurd newsletter. Check it out and subscribe at nattybumpercar.com/subscribe. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Natty Bumpercar. Hugs and hearts. See you soon.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.